What's going on, everyone? This is Shields. Welcome back. We got a fun video today. We got TED Ed, basically an extension content machine of TED Talks. We got the history of chocolate. I'm also going to be releasing same day today the history of tea. Two things that have caffeine in it: tea and chocolate. So go to my page and watch the tea video as well to kind of learn the history of tea as you learn about the history of chocolate here. Of course, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Shields, and we learn here. We learn more about human story, things around us, and of course history. So give me a subscription if you dare. We do lots of reaction videos just like this. So let's learn together about the history of chocolate.
If you can't imagine life without chocolate,
No, honestly, I can't.
you're lucky you weren't born before the 16th century.
Cause hold on. Now we got the cliche box of chocolates there. So that movie would not, Forrest Gump would not mean anything. We wouldn't have Hershey's. We wouldn't have Reese's Pieces, Reese's. We wouldn't have Kit Kats, which are super underrated. Should be a top three candy bar or top two candy bar, maybe. We wouldn't have chocolate ice cream. We wouldn't have chocolate syrup. We wouldn't have chocolate cake. We wouldn't have hot chocolate. The list goes on.
Until then, chocolate only existed in Mesoamerica, in a form quite different from what we know. As far back as 1900 BCE,
This is where Wonka got his chocolate, right?
the people of that region had learned to prepare the beans
The
of the
cocoa
native
bean.
cacao tree.
Cacao, my bad.
The earliest records tell us the beans were ground and mixed with cornmeal and chili peppers to create a drink, not a relaxing cup of hot.
Oh my goodness. I remember this. This is the Aztecs, right? These are the Aztecs, and they would have so many of these a day.
Cocoa, but a bitter, invigorating concoction, frothing with foam. And if you thought we make a big deal about chocolate today, the Mesoamericans had us beat. They believed that cacao was a heavenly food gifted to humans by a feathered serpent god, known to the Maya as Kukulkan,
Okay, so it's Mayans, not Aztecs.
and to the Aztecs
Okay, so it's both.
as Quetzalcoatl.
What's a
Aztecs
coddle?
used cacao beans as currency and
Really?
drank chocolate at royal feasts, gave it to soldiers as a reward for success in battle,
Bro, imagine you just get back from battle and you're like, all right, I'm ready for payment. And they hand you a Kit Kat.
and used it in rituals. The first transatlantic chocolate encounter occurred in 1519 when
Okay.
Hernan Cortez visited the court of Montezuma at Tenochtitlan.
Did they live around the same time? I gotta figure this out. Montezuma is arguably the biggest name in Aztec history as their chief. So let's say real quick. Montezuma time frame. 1502 to 1520. So he was the ninth emperor. The Montezuma the second, I think is what it said. 1502 to 1520. So this was right at the end of his reign.
As recorded by Cortez' lieutenant, the king had 50 jugs of the drink brought out and poured into golden cups. When the colonists returned with shipments of the strange new bean, missionaries' salacious accounts of native customs gave it a reputation as an aphrodisiac. At first, its bitter taste made it suitable as a medicine for ailments like upset stomachs. But
Interesting.
sweetening it with honey, sugar, or vanilla quickly made chocolate a popular delicacy in the
I wonder because of the cacao bean. I wonder if like the bitterness and all that. Also, it has chili. Remember, it has chili as well. I wonder if that acted as a base. It kind of like coated the stomach to like give the effect that it was helping upset stomachs, which I guess it did.
Spanish court. And soon, no aristocratic home was complete without dedicated chocolateware.
Wow.
The fashionable drink was difficult and time consuming to produce on a large.
And this was the 1500s, so I mean, if it got back to Europe, you know, we obviously know like there's so many royal houses during this time, and it will continue this way till like the 1900s. So yeah, that's a huge span of cacao being present.
Large scale. That involved using plantations and imported slave labor in the Caribbean and on islands off the coast of Africa. The world of chocolate would change forever in 1828 with the introduction of the cocoa press by Conrad van Houten of Amsterdam. Van Houten's invention could separate the cocoa's natural fat, or cocoa butter. This left
And that's where we got the cocoa butter.
a powder that could be mixed into a drinkable solution or recombined with the cocoa butter to create the solid chocolate we know today.
Wow.
Not long after, a Swiss chocolatier named Daniel Peter added powdered milk to the mix, thus
Milk chocolate.
milk chocolate.
There we go.
By the
So it's powdered milk, and then that mixture, 1875. Interesting.
20th century, chocolate was no longer an elite luxury, but had become a treat for the public. Meeting the massive demand required more cultivation of cocoa, which can only grow near the equator. Now, instead of African slaves being shipped to South American cocoa plantations, cocoa production itself would shift to West Africa, with Côte d'Ivoire providing 2/5
Cote d'Ivoire, or the Ivory Coast is what it used to be called, I believe.
of the world's cocoa as of 2015. Yet, along with the growth of the industry, there have been horrific abuses of human rights. Many of the plantations throughout West Africa, which supply Western companies, use slave and child labor, with
Boo.
an estimation of more than 2 million children affected.
Dang.
This is a complex problem that persists despite efforts from major chocolate companies to partner with African nations to reduce child and indentured labor practices.
You ain't gotta get involved with that. Ain't gonna do
Today,
nothing.
chocolate has established itself in the rituals of our modern culture.
Obviously, like chocolate's like part of the zeitgeist.
Due to its colonial association with native cultures, combined with the power of advertising, chocolate retains an aura of something sensual, decadent, and forbidden. Yet knowing more about its fascinating and often cruel history, as well as its production today, tells us where these associations originate and what they hide. So as you unwrap your next bar of chocolate, take a moment to consider that not everything about chocolate is sweet.
What a point. I think that's the video. What a point. But that's like every single industry. We have phones. Where do those phones, particularly the metals, mined? Same sort of area, same sort of indentured labor. We look at in just about any industry, and we have similar, whether it's a sweatshop, whether it's indentured servitude. There's just so many complexities with it. But we'll get there. We'll get there. I mean, I think there should be pretty much like a populist investigation into this, but more or less looking into the companies that support this. Because look, if a company didn't support it, it wouldn't happen. So maybe there should be a populist support to see which companies are investing into this knowingly with the conditions. Also, who are the vendors? Who are the people outsourcing their labor? We need to figure that out. That's for another time. If you loved the history of chocolate just like I did, hit that subscribe button. Remember, go watch the tea video as well. It's really good. Promise you that. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Bye-bye.